Hi babies, I know it's been so long since the last time I spoke to you guys, but we'll talk about that some other time. We're just gonna get right in the story, which is stopping a stalker in his tracks. Okay, so I was 17. I was a senior in high school. My high school provided this early college program, which I was a part of. It was an AP program, and basically you would do most of your classes at a community college, and then you'll come back to the high school to just do ninth hour, which was the last period of the day. My best friend was in the AP program with me, Kennedy. Follow her at KCTV, KAYCEE TV. Anyways, yeah, she was with me, and I was the one who usually drove. So we had our last class at the community college together, and then we will ride together to go back to school. But usually we'll have like a little time to like go get something to eat or chill at my house real quick before ninth period. So we're walking out of the college, and then this man in his white van, because yes, it's always a man in a white van, just pulls up right in front of us. And it was this African dude. He said, "Oh my gosh, your sister is so beautiful." That's what he said to Kennedy. And Kennedy was just like, "Thanks." And we're trying to move around this van and keep going. And he sees us walking to my car. So he pulls up behind my car, which is blocking me. So I can't back out. There was a car one side of me, and there was a car on the other side of me. So I was stuck. I had to sit there. He walks up to Kennedy's window and he knocks on the window. She wrote it down and she was like, "Can we help you?" And he was like, "Oh, I just want your sister's number." I kind of dropped my phone to the side and kicked it under the seat, and I said, "I don't have a phone." And he was like, "That's okay. Your sister has a phone." And it was too late for her to hide her phone. She said, "Okay, my phone is off, but this is the number you can call." And Kennedy is a quick thinker. She thought of her mom's old cell phone number, and he puts it in, and then he drops his phone on purpose, and the battery comes out. And he's like, "You know what that means? That means I lost the number. So you have to write it down on a piece of paper and make sure it's the same number and give it here." And then I was like, "I'm too young for you." He was like, "How old are you?" I lied and said I was 16. I wanted to say younger, but obviously I'm driving a car, so I can't say anything younger than that. I said, "And we're still in high school." He was like, "I'm 19. I'm like, he did not look 19. And I was like, "Yeah, that's too old." And he was like, "No, it's okay." He said, "I'll talk to your parents." She repeats back the number to him, and it's the right number. And he was like, "What high school do y'all go to?" Me and Kennedy, we're here. We said the same lie at the same time. It was some random high school that was around the area that we know we don't go to. So he was like, "Oh, I know exactly where that is. I be up there sometimes." "No, you don't, and why would you?" So he finally like lets us go. He was like, "I'm gonna call you. Make sure you answer." Boy, when he finally like unblocked his car, I had like pulled off, and I made sure he wasn't following me. I saw that he parked, because if he was following me, I was gonna drive to the nearest police station. That's what I was gonna do. But he ended up not even following me. So me and Kennedy went to my house. So as soon as we walk in the door, my mom's in the kitchen. We tell her exactly what happened. My mom calls the school. And then when we got to school, they called me in the counselor's office. Our counselor is in charge of that program. They asked me, tell them everything that happened. They contacted the college, and they had their counselor on speaker, and they were like, "Tell us everything that happened." Kennedy was like, "Don't overreact. I think it's a one-time thing. I don't think we should take it this far." But I just had a bad feeling about him. And whenever you have a gut feeling, go with it. Better safe than sorry. I told him what happened. I told him how aggressive he was, like his nature, and how he wouldn't let me pull off, which is scary, that you're not letting me go, and I'm telling you I don't want to talk to you. I tell you I'm too young for you. I think I even told him I wasn't even interested, but you can tell by my body language that I was intimidated. But I told him everything that happened, and I did mention, because there was an African fest that was going on in the lobby of the college, and there were different vendors that were selling jewelry, clothes, oils, and all that. I was like, he may not even be a student. He may have been up there for the event. And I was able to remember his car and everything. So they said, okay, we want to be sure. So we had this written down. We're gonna report this to our campus police. Now, the campus police were actually real officers. They weren't just hired by the college. They were real officers, so they can really do something. As soon as you get here, go straight to campus police. They'll know exactly who you are, and they'll know exactly what you're talking about. So I had my mom drop me off. In the morning, I was met with the counselor that we spoke to over the phone. I went in the room, and it was 2 officers. One officer was pretty much blaming me. He was like, why didn't you run back in the school and tell us what was going on, because we could have caught the perp right then and there. And then the other officer was just asking me questions and asking me to describe him. And then he was saying, everything is okay, you did the right thing, you told someone as soon as you left. And the other officer was just like, well, you should have came in so we could have caught him right then and there. I tell him, because he was starting to get on my nerves because he kept blaming me and blaming me. I was like, my main focus was to leave the situation safely. I had every intention on reporting him. Soon as I got home, I told my mom and we told the school. I said if he would have followed me, I was going to go to the police station, straight to the police station. I report everything. They said, now if I ever see him, go straight to them and then they'll handle it. He said even if I see his car, go to them. So the day after, I decided to drive my car. And I'm like looking all over the place. I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm like, I don't want this man following me. I continued to my classes. My classes are fine. And one requirement, we did have to do gym. We had a choice if we wanted to do gym in high school or did we want to do gym in the college. Gym in the college is you go to the gym for a certain amount of minutes. So that's kind of the kick it spot. So I go to the gym. I see 2 of my guy friends that I actually went to high school with, but they graduated a few years before me. So they were actual students of the college. And I'm telling them what happened. And they're like, oh man. They was like, we'll walk you out to your car. And if dude try anything, we will beat his ass. We ain't gonna let him touch you. We ain't gonna let him mess with you. So when you're done working out today, make sure we're walking out with you. We got you. I get dressed. They walk me out to my car. As I'm walking out to my car, why is this man parked right next to my car? So he knows my car. He remembered. Out of all the little black cars around, he remembered my car. It didn't help because my interior was all pink, but he knew my car. So I like freezed up and they're like, you're good, don't even worry about it, you got us. I'm like, no, I need to report him because this is going to be an issue. So I go up and I take a picture of his license plates. There was a woman parked next to him. She being all nosy, but whatever, I got the picture. So there was a little fire drill going on at the college. It's nothing major. The students don't have to participate. It's more for faculty or whatever. It's not that major. So I take the picture and I go report it to campus safety. And I see the officer who was not helpful at all. I walk up to him and I'm like, okay, the guy is parked right next to me. He knows my car. Like, this is really going to be a problem. And I took a picture of his license plates and he was like, hold on, we're dealing with this fire drill right now. Just continue on and we'll get to you later. We got to deal with this right now. I'm like, what? Like, you're going to focus on fake danger when I got some real danger going on. And you're telling me to wait. I'm standing there for like 10 minutes because I'm not stupid. I'm not about to walk up to my car. Even though I had my 2 guy friends with me, I still didn't want to put them in a position to where they have to fight this man. Not everybody got a full deck of cards there. So I really didn't feel comfortable putting them in that position, but they didn't feel comfortable with me going out to my car alone. So I guess that makes 3 of us. I see the helpful officer. So I'm like, skip you, skirt. So I run up to him and I say, okay, this man is parked by my car. This is going to be a problem. He was like, oh, let's go. He was like, say no more. I said, oh, and I got a picture of his license plate so we could put that on file. He was like, good work. He instantly came out and helped me. So we're walking out to the car and the officer laughed. He said, you got 2 bodyguards with you? And it was like, yeah, we'll beat him up. He was like, look at you, got security. But anyway, so I'm walking ahead. I got my two guy friends, one friend's here, one friend's there. The way they're walking, it don't look like they're with me, so in case something pop off, they'll sworn in and he won't even know what hit him. And then I had the officer, he was like further behind me. So I see the lady who's parked next to the weird guy, the weird stalker guy, and she's telling him that a girl came by. I can hear her a little bit. A girl came by and took a picture of your license plates. I don't know what she's up to, but I wanted to make sure that you knew. Shut up, lady. You don't even know what's going on. Little do you know, you're putting me in danger. Mind your business. If it was that big of a deal to you, then you tell campus safety that I'm taking a picture of his license plates. You don't go tell him and anger him and have him coming at me. So he sees me and he kind of walking up to me. He looking kind of aggressive, so I know I pissed him off. The way his body language was when he was about to approach me. He walking up to me, and then he sees the officer, and the officer said, hey man, let me talk to you. As soon as he see the officer, he tries to dip. The way he tried to dip out the situation screams guilty. So I don't know what he planned on doing, and I'm glad I reported it because the way he tried to break scene was so suspicious. So the officer tells me, you good, you good. Go ahead and walk to your car. And then my two guy friends, they were like, we still don't feel comfortable, so we're gonna get in the car with you and you can just drop us off at the front. The officer is talking to the guy, and he's telling him to come with him, and I dropped my two guy friends off at the front. I tell Kennedy what happened. I'm like, you told me not to make a big deal out of it, not to report it. Guess what happened? And she was like, oh dang, well I'm glad you did say something. They notify the school or whatever, and when I get home I get a phone call, and it's the officer, the helpful one. He was like, we got him, and if he ever talks to you or is around you ever again, he's going to jail. I said, oh my gosh, what happened? What do you say to him? He said, we had a long stern talk about him not having any contact with you. He definitely wasn't 19, and he definitely should not be around you nor talking to you. And I'm like, how old is he? I'm like, does he have a record or something? Because the way you're wording things, it sounds like he's dangerous. He was like, I can't tell you that, but just know it was a very, very good thing that you reported him. And if he talks to you ever again, it's over for him. It is over for him. It sounded like some serious stuff. And then the officer was kind of throwing hints that he was dangerous. He did, however, tell me that he did show up at the high school we said we went to. It wasn't the real high school. We lied and said we went to that high school, but he came up there. So had I told him too much information, this could have got so much worse. So the day after, I thought since my schedule was totally different for that day, it would be okay for me to drive. I mean, I did feel safe because they have all this man's information. They got his license plate number, they got his face. They told me I should be fine. I get out of my class and I go to pull out. The man is right behind me. He's just ice grilling me. Like, he looked like he wanted to punch me in my face. But he's just wanted my parking spot. It was very limited parking. I pull out and he took my parking spot. I never saw or heard from him ever again. Had I not said anything, do you know how many problems I probably would have had? I'm proud of how I handled the situation. It didn't get far because I didn't let it get far. Later on, I really thought about it. Sex trafficking is huge in Chicago, so he was probably one of them. Message to my honeys, it's better to be proactive than reactive. Had I waited till something happened to say something or do something about this, Lord knows what could have happened. I hope you learned from this. Trust your gut feeling, and I love you, my honeys. And if you enjoyed this story time, thumbs up. If you didn't, still thumbs up. And don't you forget to like and subscribe. Love you. Bye.